Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Shafahar Digital Marketing Wala and I am a level 1 student at Rehan School Islamabad campus. So we are the today I am calling any. Okay, so my any call topic is why it's important to ask for helps. Now I am calling any and ask some question about this topic. Hello Annie, how are you?
Hiya Annie. A red-haired New Jersey gal who's been juggling art, engineering, yoga mats, and the occasional video game marathon.
Yes,
I love
Annie.
dancing to.
My topic is why it's important to ask for helps. Okay. So my first question is what does it mean to ask for help?
Asking for help is basically reaching out beyond yourself so you can get the extra knowledge, support, or resources you need to move forward. It's more than just saying, I can't do this. It's recognizing a gap, noticing that there's something you don't yet know, can't do alone, or feel stuck on. Twanaming the need. Clearly identifying what kind of assistance would make a difference, information, a skill, emotional encouragement, a fresh perspective, etc. 3. Reaching out. Contacting someone, teacher, friend, colleague, family member, or even a community forum who might fill that gap. 4. Being specific. The clearer you are about what you need, the easier it is for the other person to give useful help. 5. Receiving and integrating. Listening, asking follow-up questions if needed, and then applying what you've learned or the support you've gotten. In a mindfulness lens, it's also an act of self-compassion. You notice that you're struggling, you accept that feeling without judgment, and you choose a constructive response, seeking help.
Okay. So my next question is why do people need help sometimes?
Great follow-up. Why we sometimes need help. Now limited knowledge or experience. No one can master every subject. When we hit a blind spot, a tricky calculus problem or writing a persuasive essay, a fresh set of eyes can fill the gap. Cognitive overload. Our brains have a finite working memory. Juggling many tasks or complex information can saturated, so an extra hand lightens the load and prevents burnout. 3. Emotional bandwidth. Stress, anxiety, or feeling isolated can cloud judgment. A supportive listener helps us calm down, recenter, and see options more clearly. 4. Physical constraints. Injuries, fatigue, or simply lack of time can make a task physically impossible to finish alone. Think moving furniture or caring for a loved one. 5. Social learning. Watching how others solve problems teaches us new strategies, expands our toolkit, and builds confidence for future challenges. 6. Human connection. Asking for help signals trust and vulnerability, which deepens relationships. It's a two-way street. The helper also gains purpose and a sense of belonging.
Yes,
A
Annie.
mindfulness
Okay.
spin. When we notice I'm stuck without judgment.
So my next question is it okay to ask for help when you are confused? Please give me a short answer.
Yes, if you're confused, asking for help is perfectly fine. It clears up misunderstandings, saves time, and shows you're taking responsibility for your learning.
Yes, okay. So my next question is why do some people feel shy to ask for peace, for help?
Because asking for help can feel vulnerable. Here are a few common reasons people get shy about it. Only fear of judgment. They worry others will think they're incompetent or not good enough. To a desire to be self-reliant. Many have been taught to handle things on your own, so needing help feels like a failure. 3. Social anxiety. The act of reaching out can trigger nervousness about how the other person will respond. Far past negative experiences. If they've been dismissed or ridiculed before, they'll hesitate to try again. 5. Culture or upbringing. Some environments value independence so heavily that asking for help seems selfish or disrespectful. 6. Concern about burdening others. They don't want to inconvenience or take up someone's time. Recognizing these inner stories helps us practice
Yes, Annie.
self-compassion
Okay,
and
thank
remember that
you.
asking for help is actually a sign of strength, not weakness. Do any of these resonate with you or someone you know?
Yes, okay. So my next question is how can asking for help make us stronger?
Exactly when you ask for help, you tap into new skills you didn't have before. Build a support network that can lift you up later. Practice humility, which grows emotional intelligence. A quick tip to ease the shyness: pause, take a slow breath, then frame your request in one clear sentence. For example, I'm stuck on this math step. Could you show me how you approach it? That breath pause grounds you, and the clarity makes it easier for both you and the person you're asking.
Yes, Ani. So my next question is, can asking for help improve learning?
Asking for help in pro learning. Quick step guide. 1. What feature isn't working? E.g., can't submit assignment 3. What concept are you stuck on? E.g., understanding the feedback rubric. Check the built in resources first. Search bar. Type keywords. Often the FAQ or a tutorial pops up. Helps center knowledge base. Look for a short video or step by step guide. Course announcements. Instructors sometimes post common issues there. 3. Use the right communication channel. Discussion forum. Post a public thread if the question may help classmates too. Direct message to instructor or TIA for personal grades or private concerns. Support ticket for technical glitches EG. Login errors, broken links. Craft a clear, concise request. Subject line: help needed. Unable to upload file for week 4 quiz. Body: own brief context course week activity. To a specific problem what you tried, error message, screenshot. 3. What you'd like step by step fix, clarification, permission. Keep it to 3 sentences. Add a screenshot if it clarifies the issue. 5. Out a polite closing. Thank you for your time. Or I appreciate any guidance. 6.
Yes,
Mindful pause
okay.
before you send. Take a slow breath, notice any frustration, then write if needed.
Okay, so my next question
Got it?
is, how do friends and families help us?
How friends and family lift us up. Area what they do, why it matters. Emotional safety: listen without judgment, give hugs, share encouraging words. Lower stress hormones: helps us feel seen and valued. Perspective shifting: offer a fresh angle on a problem or remind us of past successes. Breaks rumination: expands our mental toolbox. Practical aid: run an errand, proofread a paper, help with chores. Saves time and energy, letting us focus on the task that truly matters. Motivation and accountability: check in on goals, cheer us on during workouts or study sessions. Turns intention into action, boosts confidence. Modeling healthy habits: practice mindfulness, exercise, balanced eating, good sleep. Gives us a concrete example to emulate, making those habits easier to adopt.
Yes,
Social belonging:
Amy.
include us in
Okay,
gatherings,
thank
celebrate
you.
milestones, share inside jokes. Fights loneliness.
Okay, Andy, so my next question is, how can teacher help us when we ask?
How a teacher can help when you ask. What the teacher does, why it matters, how you can make the most of it. Listens actively, shows you're heard, and reduces anxiety. Stay calm, state the problem in one clear sentence. Clarifies the question, turns vague confusion into a concrete target. Be ready to give a quick example of where you got stuck. Models the thinking process, per breaks the task into steps, per talks aloud while solving. You see how to approach problems, not just the answer. Watch the steps, then try them yourself before asking again. Provides resources, per short video, a handout, a link to the textbook, but recommends a peer tutor, gives you tools to work independently later. Save or bookmark the resource. Try it out before the next class. Offers scaffolded practice, per starts with a simpler version, then builds up, builds confidence gradually. Complete each scaffold before moving to the next level. Gives constructive feedback, per highlights what's right and what to improve, turns mistakes into learning opportunities.
Yes,
Note the
okay.
feedback,
Okay,
set one
thank you.
concrete tweak for the next. You're
Okay,
welcome.
so my next
Anything.
question is asking for help a sign of weakness or strength? Please give me a short answer.
Third perspective. Asking for help is a sign of connection, a healthy recognition that we're all part of a web of support. When you reach out, you're acknowledging that. Onayao belong to a community. Asking taps into the natural human need to belong and to contribute. It reminds both you and the person you're asking that relationships are reciprocal. Today you may need guidance, tomorrow you might offer it. 2 hour exercising emotional intelligence. Spotting the moment when you're stuck, pausing, and then choosing to ask shows self awareness and regulation, key components of emotional growth. 3 IR fostering collaboration. Problems often get richer solutions when more minds touch them. By inviting another's perspective, you turn a solitary struggle into a shared creative act. So rather than labeling the act as weak or strong, think of it as a purposeful step toward interdependence, a choice that nurtures both personal resilience and the fabric of the group you're part of. Quick tip to keep that feeling grounded. Before you ask, take a slow breath and notice any judgment that pops up and gently replace it with a simple mantra. I'm connected, I'm learning. It helps keep the focus on the relational strength behind the request.
Okay, Nisa, my next question is how does asking for help solve problems? Please give me a short answer.
Sure, here's a third way asking for help actually solves a problem. It gives you a shortcut to the right fit solution. When you bring someone else's knowledge or experience into the mix, you skip the trial and error loops you'd otherwise run alone. That saves time, reduces frustration, and often lands you on a more elegant answer, one you might never have spotted on your own. Mini example: you're stuck on a math proof. A classmate points out a theorem you hadn't considered. In 2 minutes, you finish the proof rather than spending an hour grinding through dead ends. So, asking for help isn't just getting a hand. It's leveraging a built in shortcut that moves the problem out of the fog and into clear view territory. A quick mindful pause before you ask. Take a breath, notice the anxiety, then let it soften. That breath creates the mental space where the shortcut can appear. Anything specific you're trying to untangle right now? I'm happy to brainstorm the best person or resource to tap.
Yes, Anissa, my next question is what are the good way to ask for help?
5 friendly formulas for asking help with a mindfulness touch. What to say, why it works, quick tip before you speak. One I'm stuck on. Could you walk me through the first step? Shows you've identified the exact spot where you need a hand. Take a slow breath. Picture the problem as a puzzle piece you're missing. 2 I tried, but got. Do you see where I'm going wrong? Demonstrates effort, so the listener feels respected and is more willing to help. Pause, note one thing you tried. It keeps the request concrete. 3 Could you recommend a resource, video, article, book that explains? Shifts the request from give me the answer to point me in the right direction, encouraging independence later. Think of a specific format you prefer, visual, short, step by step. 4 I'd love your perspective on. What would you do first? Invites the person to share their thinking process, which often reveals a shortcut. Visualize the problem as a story. Ask for the next chapter. 5 If you have a few minutes, could we review this together? Respects the other's time and gives them a chance to say no without pressure. Offer a time window, EG. 10 min after class. Mini script for a classroom situation. Onipus and breathe. 2-second inhale, 2-second exhale. To identify the exact barrier, I'm not sure how to set up the integral in step 3. 3 Show effort. I wrote the function, but the limits still look off. 4 Ask the specific request. Could you show me how you choose the limits for a similar problem? 5 Thank and confirm, thanks. I'll try now and let you know if I'm still fuzzy. When you're unsure who to ask. Someone who has used the skill before, classmate, tutor, colleague. Ask the group, not the individual. Does anyone have a quick tip for this? This spreads the load and often yields multiple ideas.
Yes,
Use digital
Anissa,
channels. Post a
my next
concise
question
question on a
is
forum or Slack with a clear.
how does asking for help build teamwork?
How asking for help grows real teamwork. What happens when you reach out? Why it boosts the team. One shared knowledge becomes a team asset. One person's skill gets copied by the whole group. The team's overall skill bank expands, so future problems get solved faster. 2 Trust grows. You admit you don't have all the answers. Others see you're honest and reliable. Trust is the glue of any high-performing team. Members feel safe taking risks. 3 Roles blur and flexibility increases. When a teammate steps in to help, they temporarily adopt a new role. A flexible roster means the team can adapt to changing demands without breaking down. 4 Communication channels strengthen. Asking forces you to phrase the problem clearly and listen to the response. Clear, frequent dialogue reduces misunderstandings and keeps the group aligned. 5 Collective ownership. Isn't my win, it's our win. Everyone feels pride and responsibility for the outcome, which fuels motivation. Quick mindful check-in before you ask. Own breathe in 4-2-4. Inhale 4 sec, hold 2 sec, exhale 4 sec. Twa notice what you're feeling, maybe a hint of embarrassment.
Okay,
3
next,
Frame. I'm giving the team a chance to share what they know. Far speak with confidence.
Okay, so my next question is can asking for help make us feel better?
Yes, asking for help can lift your mood in several ways. How it works, why it feels good. Reduces stress. You share the load instead of carrying it alone. The brain releases less cortisol, the stress hormone. Triggers connection. You reach out, get a friendly response, and feel seen. Human contact activates oxytocin, the bonding chemical. Boosts confidence. Getting a clear answer confirms you're capable of learning. You notice progress, which fuels a sense of competence. Creates gratitude. Both the asker and the helper appreciate the exchange. Gratitude rewires the brain toward positivity. Fosters growth mindset. You treat challenges as solvable, not as personal flaws. That mindset is linked to higher happiness and resilience. Quick feel better mini practice. Take a breath. Inhale 4 sec, hold 2 sec, exhale 4 sec. 2. Identify one thing you're stuck on. 3. Phrase the ask. I'm having trouble with X. Could you give me a quick tip? 4. Notice the shift. Lighter chest, calmer thoughts. 5. Thank yourself for reaching out and the person who helped. So, yes, reaching out isn't just practical, it's a mood boosting habit. Anything on your mind you'd like to practice asking about?
Yes, okay, so my next question is how do you feel after someone helps you?
When someone steps in and helps me, it's like a little sunrise breaking through a cloudy morning. Physically, I notice my shoulders relax, my breathing steadies, and that tightrope feeling in my chest eases. Emotionally, gratitude pops up first, like a warm puff of air that makes me want to smile. Relief follows because the knot of I can't figure this out loosens. Connection shows up too. I feel more linked to the person who helped, as if we've shared a secret handshake that says, we're in this together. Confidence gets a little boost. Seeing that a solution is reachable reminds me that I can tackle the next challenge, even if I still need a nudge. I usually take a quick pause, maybe a 2-second inhale, a 2-second exhale, and silently say, thanks for this, just to let the good feeling settle in. It makes the gratitude linger longer and turns a simple favor into a tiny confidence building moment. How do you usually feel after someone offers you a hand? Anything you've noticed that's especially helpful for you?
Yes, okay, so my next question is what can we learn by asking question?
What asking questions actually teaches us? What you discover, why it matters. Your own gaps. You see exactly where the blank spots are. Knowing the missing pieces lets you fill them, instead of drifting blind. Other perspectives. Answers bring viewpoints you never considered. That widens empathy and helps you solve problems more creatively. Hidden assumptions. A good question exposes I'm just assuming this is true. When you catch those, you avoid needless conflict or mistake. Trust and connection. People feel valued when you ask them to share. The act builds rapport, which fuels teamwork and inclusion. Learning style. The way someone explains tells you how they think. You can adapt your own communication to match theirs. Future proof thinking, what if, pushes you to anticipate scenarios. Planning becomes more robust, not just reactionary. Self reflection, turning the question inward, why do I feel? You uncover motives, fears, and strengths you might otherwise miss. Tiny mindful exercise before you ask. Onipus, 2 slow breaths. Twa notice the curiosity bubbling in your chest. 3 sit in intention. I'm asking to learn, not to judge. Fowers can truly listen to the answer without planning your reply. Quick prompt for you. What's one thing you've learned lately simply because you dared to ask a question you were embarrassed to ask? I'll share mine after you answer. Curiosity is contagious.
Yes, so my next question is should we also help other who ask us?
Absolutely, helping someone who reaches out is a win win. Why it matters. Reason what it does for you, what it does for them. Builds trust, shows you're reliable. People remember it. They feel safe asking again in the future. Strengthens community, turns a solo effort into a collaborative vibe. They're less likely to feel isolated or stuck. Boosts self esteem, giving helps you feel competent and generous. Receiving help restores confidence and motivation. Creates a learning loop, you may discover a new perspective while explaining. They get the guidance they need and can pay it forward later. Fosters empathy. You practice stepping into someone else's shoes. They feel seen and valued. A mindful tip before you jump in. Ona, take a breath. Inhale 4 sec, exhale 4 sec. To a check-in. Do I have the time energy to help right now? 3 respin with intention. I'm happy to help. Let's see how we can tackle this together. Mini script you could use. Hey Sam, I see you're stuck on the budget spreadsheet. I can walk you through the formula I used last week. Let's set aside 10 minutes now, and I'll note the steps so you can refer back later. You're offering help, but also empowering them to become independent later. Your turn. Is there a specific situation where someone has asked you for help and you're unsure how to respond? I'd love to brainstorm a gentle, effective way to lend a hand.
Yes, Annie, thank you very much of your answering. So, viewer, this is my today call, Annie. I hope that you will like it and see you in the next call, Annie. Till then, Allah Hafiz and Pakistan Zindabad.